Well, good morning on this quite pleasant day. And today I'm looking at the way that cities seem to be sinking. I watched a video, well, I didn't watch a video, I listened to a podcast and while I was walking my dog. And the author was looking at the ways that a lot of the big cities around the world are now sinking. And it's not just because of the weight of the city is actually too much for the ground to bear, but there's a lot more to it than that. And that is the way that we are um, pumping out water from substrata aquifers and leaving space for the ground above to squeeze that area down. Um, it's quite interesting. And I thought, no, I'm going to start doing some research on this. And started asking questions and looking and seeing what papers have been written on it. There's quite a few. But the interesting thing was, I thought, I'm going to go back to a video I made some time ago about the way that an AI needs to be questioned. So I reread that and decided that I would do exactly the same thing. So I decided to look at the way that Birmingham, my hometown city, would be looked at in the way that it is possibly sinking. It isn't, but I wanted to look at that. And so I started asking questions of the water use. And I went to the AI and started looking at the way that water use from 1900 up to present day. And then I started looking at the way that other things might affect it: canals, industry, people, size of city, all sorts of little tiny parameters adding to the overall knowledge that I wanted on this particular subject. And it was really interesting the way that I did it, because I kept it and looked at it in the way that I would do some research. And I thought, I'm going to rewrite this. But when I got down to the end of it, I thought, no, you need to see how each of the different questions added a layer of information onto my knowledge base. And that is the important thing. I was learning about sinking cities and the reasons why, but also I was looking at the way that I was interacting with an AI. Now, I'm more or less settled on the idea of using Google Gemini. I pay for the large storage area, which gives me everything that I want on Google. Yes, I'm still with Apple, and a lot of my saving goes back into Apple. But for the terms of the AI, I still keep my Google account going, simply because it's probably one of the better ones out there. So you'll see all my not correspondence, but conversations with Google and Gemini, and it's 2.5 or whatever it is these days. Anyway, hope you enjoy it. A lot of information there to be put into your own knowledge base, which is where most of mine is going now. You'll see some of the hashtags that I've used. Google doesn't seem to use hashtags the way that Apple does, and I prefer it. So Apple Notes is still my most favorite repository for all my knowledge, and I use a lot of different hashtags to different categories of how I store my knowledge. Anyway, read the article. Hope you enjoy. Cheers.